All right, we are live with the Celtics live post-game. We're reacting to and going live after a loss tonight to the Sixers, a game that multiple, and I mean multiple times during that game, I was looking at that thinking, okay, let's do this. We're about to catch the dub. Wasn't the case. Sixers ended up taking the dub. Close game still, I guess we could say that, but Sixers take the dub 117 to 109. I don't know, man. I don't know. Thought we had that one. I thought we had that one. Kemba came back. Kemba was clearly ready to go. He was playing well. He was sort of firing in all cylinders in the first half, and then I guess you just fall victim to the minutes restriction. He doesn't get to go off, right? Doesn't get to go off in the start of the second half. He barely played the third quarter. Came in the, the final minute. Whatever, all right. I'm stressed out about that game. I'm bummed about that game. At the same time, there are some excuses we can make. And in fact, I'm just going to jump to this right now. So we'll get to some of the box score here. So I don't understand this, but this is NBA.com sort of headline here. So let me populate this. NBA.com, and this is prior to the game. The depleted Sixers and the Celtics set to square off. The depleted Sixers? Were you gonna fail to mention that the Celtics are missing their best player? The depleted Sixers. Oh man, get that BS absolutely out of here. I saw that as I was setting the stream up, and I was like, are you seriously pouring salt on the wound right now? NBA.com, are you seriously pouring salt on the wound? Because the depleted, I get it, you got a few injuries, but the Celtics are missing their best player. Oh man, oh man. But yeah, I don't like come out of that game as mad as I think I would have if they got like just straight out beat. Like that was a back and forth game. Embiid's a beast. A couple missed shots, a couple turnovers late, a couple non-calls, a couple calls that didn't go against us. I'm not like overly pissed about that game. I'm more or less like, it was right there and we couldn't get it. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a little bit different than the last post game that we went to, the Knicks game. Like, holy hell, that was just a terrible game. But this, it's like we were right there. Now, I will say this. I think that they could have won that game even without Tatum. You know, I think that they definitely could have dug a little deeper and made plays when they needed to and possibly, I don't know, I might be getting carried away here, but possibly started to defend Embiid a little bit. Like, I think they were almost going with the, we'll let Embiid beat us mentality, and I don't think late in the game you want to do that. You know, like that's fine for the first, 3.5 quarters, but then you don't want to have one guy just, all right, we're not even going to try and double team him down low. I don't know. I'm kind of nitpicking here. Let's get to some of the comments here. Gear saying he cannot believe it. Javier saying crazy how Philadelphia shot 44 free throws. That's ridiculous. I mean, a lot of those free throws coming from Embiid, right? He had like half of those free throws. Those aren't even free throws. Not free throws. Those aren't even fouls. That's the annoying part. Like, I hate to sound like a salty Celtics fan, right? But like, talk about superstar treatment. Like Embiid was getting calls left and right, and you get you guys like Kemba going to the hoop or Jalen or even Marcus Smart who looked like they were getting hacked or getting fouled and not getting any sort of a call. So yeah, Embiid went to the line, but that is superstar treatment. I say it's a knock. It's annoying, but you're not gonna, like, you play that game over, it's gonna be the exact same situation. You know what I mean? So we can't really, I'm not gonna lie, we can't really bitch and moan about it because it's gonna happen. Like, that is the NBA, that is Embiid, and it's not gonna change. So it's not like, the refs like, pulled it out of their ass and started calling fouls on Embiid and whatnot. That's just, I hate to say it, but like, we're gonna get that, ladies and gentlemen. No matter how many times you play Embiid 100 times, 99 of those times he's gonna get these calls. Let's see, Mustafa saying hard to come in and be in rhythm after sitting so long. Yeah, to the Kemba point, I do understand the minutes restriction, but damn, Kemba could have gone for way more points, no doubt about it in my mind, and I think that there was a clear drop off. So let's take that opportunity to pivot to the box score here. So, you know, again, we're going to look at a decent box score here. We had 3 guys in 20 points. Kemba Walker just shy at 19. Kemba Walker had 17. So this is kind of why I wanted to go to the box score. Kemba Walker had 17 at half, if I'm not mistaken. And he only finished with 19. Like, he wasn't the same player in the second half whatsoever. But let's get to this. Jaylen Brown, another fairly efficient night. Not necessarily from 3, but he took a couple wild threes. 26 and 5 from him. I mean, it was his game. It was absolutely his game. He was there. He was ready to go. He was ready to ball. And he played pretty well, I think, in my opinion. Marcus Smart also, like, I don't think we can talk crap about Marcus Smart tonight. You know, I always talk about defending him, and, you know, you can't really crap on him because he does so much, and a lot of the viewers in the stream obviously get to the idea of, well, he's doing too much, and that's where I agree with it. Marcus Smart did too much tonight, but too much worked. I think Marcus Smart had a lot of really, really, really clutch baskets, if I'm being completely honest. So Marcus Smart, I don't think, had the worst game. I think a couple of those pull-up threes we could have nixed. He was 1 for 6 from 3, but neither here nor there. Daniel Tice had one of his best games as a Celtic, and the crazy thing is he put up 23 and 11 against Joel Embiid. Now, there's a couple plays late where, you know, he committed fouls, right? And sure, I'll give the people the credence of, well, geez, we're just going to hack him, because Daniel Tice was playing physical with him. Even that one that they challenged, it's like, well, prior to getting hit in the face, Tice, you kind of grabbed him. But at the same time, I don't know, what are you going to do to stop Embiid? So I give Daniel Tice at least, you know, somewhat credit in this game. I don't think he deserves to be ragged on at all, especially because he was just finishing around the rim. Like, that took a lot, you know, especially going against Embiid. So I give Tice credit tonight. 23 and 11 again from him. And then Kemba with 19 and 6. That's the box score. Let's just scroll down here. Embiid, 63% from the floor, 42 points, 10 rebounds. Damn. And then Tobias had a few big shots late in the game. But yeah, I don't know if you guys can tell from, like, my vibe or whatnot. Like, I'm not pissed about that. I wanted that. I'm irritated that they didn't get it. I'm annoyed they didn't get it. I'm not pissed about the fact that they couldn't pull that one out. I think you want to pull every win out. That's not really a surprise, right? You want to go out there and beat your probably biggest rival in the league right now. And it just didn't happen. I'm bummed about it, but I'm not pissed. Let's see. Gear says nobody in the league can stop Joel, but when the refs help him that much, what are we supposed to do? And I think, yeah, what are we supposed to do? I think Embiid's getting those calls 99% of the time, guys. I know I've taken some heat in the streams before of being like, you can't blame the refs, and everyone's like, well, yeah, you can, because technically you can blame the refs sometimes. But guys, if the refs are going to do the same thing over and over again, even if it's not the right foul call, and you're going to do that, that's just the league. That is just what's going to happen. You got to learn to live with it. Sadly, but it is what it is. I don't know. Birkin's saying, dude, we will sweep them. Seriously, this is all they have. It's a sweep. I think that the Celtics are a better team after watching tonight. Sixers fan, oh, we don't have Curry. We don't have Curry. Oh my God, guys, if you're just tuning into the stream now, I have to show you this because we showed it at the start of the stream. This is NBA.com's headline about the start of this game. The depleted Sixers, Celtics square off. Now, I ragged on this. Reading it again, maybe they're saying both teams are depleted, but screw that. Because I think they're saying the depleted Sixers and the Celtics are set to square off. Where are they just not acknowledging that the Celtics worst player or their best player not playing? Yikes. Wongy's saying, I dare Embiid to stay fit. He seems like he's in good shape now, but who knows? We're only a handful of games into the season. We're like 12 games into the year. Could Embiid, 1, stay mentally fit, and 2, could he actually stay fit, not get injured, not get tired? I don't know. I just saw a beastly Embiid. I just saw a legendary big man Embiid. And if he stays like that, he's going to be a problem. But we'll see if he can. He hasn't done it before, right? Mustafa's saying, shouldn't be too down on the C's. We played a really solid game. Our defense definitely needs to clean it up. Yeah, I think... Okay. I think Embiid makes that defense look bad. But, like, what are you going to do to that? And then they were hitting their open shots, too. You know, when Embiid would get doubled and they would kick it around and pass it all around the wing. So the defense probably had a few possessions where it's like, dude, just lock up. But I don't know. I didn't get like a crap, our defense stunk vibe. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Was the defense really, really, really that bad tonight? It might have been, because I do think that cleaning it up, Mustafa, probably is the right way to put it, right? Clean it up. Like, you're not saying completely reorg the defense and fix it. You're just saying, you know, sprucing up, spray some Febreze on it. I mean, I'm telling you guys that I'm not worked up about that game. I'm like 50 Shades of Red right now. So who's not worked up about that game? It's like that meme where I'm saying, no, I'm happy, and there's just that crying face behind it. But guys, if you're watching on Periscope, I see a lot of Periscope viewers, a lot of Periscope commenters in here. Head over to YouTube. I just tweeted out the link. Subscribe to the channel. That is where we are going to be streaming moving forward. So be sure to head over to YouTube. I tweeted out the link. It's a better streaming platform anyways, if I do say so myself. And, you know, we were popping videos on there as well. I got my podcast going on there now. We're making sort of NBA rant videos. So head over to the YouTube channel right now. And, you know, I'll shout you guys out if I see you hop over from the Periscope chat into the YouTube chat, but make sure you subscribe to the channel too, because we're going live after every single Celtics game. We got Jack and Sam going pregame, which is actually a pretty good pregame show, guys. You got to check that out. I know a lot of you tune in to see this pretty red face rocking clean Celtics hats, but we got more content on the YouTube channel, so definitely check that out. Let's get back to some comments. Gear saying, I really think Romeo's two-way ability will help win games like that. I don't know, PJ. I don't know if we look at that game and say, you know you're my guy, but I don't know if we look at that game, man, and say, oh, Romeo Langford fixes that problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get your point that that type of guy can probably work because you're really rolling with a Javante and a Semi who are only one-way players, and if Romeo were to work out to be that defensive and offense, fine, but you're asking for a lot from Romeo, you know what I'm saying? Birkin saying Jalen has completely destroyed Ben and crushed all the doubters. Ben Simmons stinks. Guys, Ben Simmons stinks. Now, he doesn't stink compared to other NBA players. He's a very above average NBA player, but he has not gotten better since coming into the league, and I have a problem with that when someone wants to say he's all NBA or a true all-star or an elite player in this league. That guy's got to get better if he's really going to do that. Look at Embiid. Embiid's jump shot has gone better. His footwork's gone better. And he's on the same team, and he is, you know, one of the best players in the league. Ben Simmons, he can't even sniff Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum's jockstrap when it comes to growth. Some of the physical things, being able to handle the ball that tall, being that fast, seeing the floor, fine, you give that to Simmons. But based on what people think he is, he stinks. He hasn't gotten better since he came in the league. And he does all the little things. I know Doris Burke had a stiffy over him this game. I get that. But Ben Simmons, you know, if he really wants to be the Ben Simmons that everyone said he was going to be, I'm going to need to see a little bit more than 11 and 8 and 8. Like, that sounds really great. That sounds like, oh my God, near triple-double. Evan Turner as a Celtic was putting up numbers easily like that. Did anyone say, oh my God, did you see Evan Turner last night? The guy's a beast. He's one of the elite guys in the NBA. No, I don't care if you can do it all. You have to do something incredibly well. And Ben Simmons just does everything pretty damn well. You know, he has to, I don't know. Don't get me started on it. Jalen and Jason, I think, are head and shoulders above him right now. And I'll say this. I don't think he's going to catch Jason Tatum. But if Simmons were to take that step up or get better, I think he probably could be right at that Jaylen Brown level, if not ahead of him. Because, you know, as much as I hate Simmons because he's a Sixer, and as much as I love, though, he can't shoot and whatnot, the minute he learns to shoot or people can respect his jump shot, the minute he even, hell, forget shooting for a second, the minute he gets into the paint and tries to score, I think he takes like an astronomical leap as an NBA player. But right now, I'm not worried about him because he's not even showing any signs of doing that. Like, it drives me nuts because he is a guy that, like, holy crap, he's got some damn potential. When he gets the ball out on the open floor, 6'10", whatever he is, and he just, pew, and he's flying, it's like, holy crap. But then even still, he's got like a 1-on-0, and he's looking to pass the ball. I don't know. Not for the Ben Simmons rant. Oh, do not get me ranting out here on Ben Simmons, Grant Williams. Yikes. Danny saying that was tough. Not really sure how to feel about it. Yeah, no, I jumped on the stream, and that's the thing. Hey, peeling back the curtain here, you guys have no idea how, like, the minute that buzzer sounds, all of a sudden I got to start thinking, how do I feel about? I don't have time to process. In fact, you know, the OGs of the stream probably see the live processing, right? Sometimes I'm like, well, welcome to the stream. But I don't have time to do that. So I see games like this and I'm like, okay, initial sign, I'm not that mad. Oh shit, I see myself on camera. I'm red as a lobster. I don't know where to make out with it, but it was a winnable game to your other comment. It really, really wasn't a winnable game. Guys, I'm going to catch up in the comments. I promise if you're a stream OG, you know that I catch up on the comments. I feel like I've said stream OG like a hardo too many times this stream so far. Wong, you saying Embiid is lucky he didn't catch that Rob Williams smoke. I would have liked to see it, but also I feel like you don't bring Robert Williams. As much as I love Robert Williams, and I've claimed it's his breakout year, I feel like you don't bring him back just to get worked by Embiid, because Embiid's working everyone, all right? You know what I mean? Like, Embiid is working everyone. Embiid's one of the best big men, if not the best big man in the league. So I think that was probably the thought process. Oh, you just got back to playing basketball. Let's not throw you into the fire. I would have liked to see it because I do think he could have, you know, I don't know. Rob Williams swats Embiid one time. All of a sudden, Embiid's kind of like, ooh. Embiid's a straight up confident player. So, you know, you saw Tristan Thompson on him. He's doing his like he's too short thing, right? Embiid's just like he catches fire. He's going. He gets swatted. He might be like, oh man, maybe I step back for a little bit. Birkin saying we had the game. Green made some defensive mistakes. I think you know that is, and we talked about the defense. Sure. Guys could have made better plays, right? Guys could have crossed the T's and dotted the I's, but it's not an up in arms loss. Is that fair? You know. Gear saying this is off topic, but Sexton just went crazy. Yeah, I think I saw. Did the I jumped on here, but did the Cavs and double OT just absolutely whoop the Nets? Did we see that? Birkin saying next year Time Lord will be bigger, thicker, and the end of Joel. Let's hope so. Let's hope so. Danny saying Sexton's having a game against the Nets. Very off topic. Guys, I'm off topic all the time. If you've been in the streams for a while, and you think that I keep it on topic, you probably know better, right? Let's see. Greg saying, what's the deal? What's the deal with Thompson the last couple games? So I forget who tweeted it out, but I saw that he just like isn't a good defender. Did you guys see that? Like, he literally ranks so poorly on defense, which I'm not gonna lie, that's not the eye test for me. Like, I would say Tristan Thompson's an above average defender, but I looked at like field goal percentages against from 3, from 2, from inside the restricted area, whatnot. Everyone's just rocking on him. So I don't know what the deal with him is. I think he grinds, so I'm gonna give him credit for that offensive rebound. Like, you watch him, he works. And he's had some pretty damn tough tasks, guys. He's had some tough tasks. Even when they're playing bad teams like the Magic, you know. Like, he's had some tough tasks. As covering Durant, covering Antetokounmpo. Nailed that last name. I could have said Giannis. I choose to take the road less traveled by and said his full name, Antetokounmpo. Damn, I think I slurred it there. But anyways, Thompson's had some tough tasks, which, guys, that's the league we're in. Boo. Gear says, Brad Stevens just said Romeo started shooting about 5 days ago. According to Stevens, he's doing light shooting and still has a long way to go. Yeah, guys, this team's a lot better than having to wait and bank on Romeo Langford. No matter if you think he's going to work out or not. Wongi says, Thompson isn't doing enough for me. I mean, what, did he only shoot twice tonight? Had 2 points, 9 rebounds. He won a little bit more. Like, Daniel Tice kind of showed what a big man should do, because as much as people like to say Embiid's a really good defender, it's because he's a big-ass body. Embiid is pretty slow on defense. He's a good defender because he's big, but he is an overrated defender. Like, him and Marcus Smart having the same Defensive Player of the Year's odds last year, BS. So if you're big like Tice, who, you know, I would give Tice the mobile nod compared to him and Thompson, and being able to position yourself right offensively, you can beat the Sixers up down low, you know, contrary to popular belief. I gotta check this out. You guys are saying that Sexton had an unreal game. That's a third comment we're seeing about Colin Sexton. I'm checking it out right now. See what we got. So Durant went for near 40, Harden 21, Kyrie 37, Colin Sexton 42 points, 55-45, 42 and 5, plus 14. Can I get a sheesh in the chat? Damn, Colin Sexton. Okay. Gear saying he likes the hat. Yeah, shout out. This is one of my new hats. This one's kind of, I mean, I just realized I'm wearing all gray. I kind of look like a loser now, but hey. Robert saying, will Tatum play Friday? I don't know. I think there's rumors that he will. I think that'd be great. I wouldn't mind Tatum playing Friday. I'll be completely honest, because I think Tatum puts them over the top in that game pretty damn easily. But I don't know if he's playing. I think if he just get off health and safety protocol today or recently and returning to the team and whatnot. He didn't travel with the team if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if he plays, but I also wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't play. I think that we could definitely use him, though. Gear says, man, we could have used a guy like PJ Tucker or Drummond out there tonight. Definitely. I think, we talked about those names in previous streams, Drummond heavily in, I think, one of the last streams. I think that's not a bad point. You could have used a guy like that. You could have just used bodies. Like, you had to go to Grant Williams, and I know I said I wasn't going to rant about him, but and this is really, like, sadly, because, I'm a Grant Williams doubter. I think that it's just a tough matchup for Grant Williams to even be out there, but he stunk. But it's not really fair. Like, he's either covering Simmons, Harris, or Embiid. Like, Grant Williams can't sniff the jockstrap of either of those guys, any of those guys. So it is a tough matchup, but at the same time, the fact that we were trying to go to Grant Williams, it's like, yikes. Wong, you saying that was Embiid with a week of rest. Yeah, I know. I hear you. I just think, I wouldn't doubt it Friday if Embiid, maybe not 40 points, but I do think Embiid still is just a problem for any team he plays. But good point. For a guy that historically gets out of shape and gets burnt out of the team he's playing on and whatnot, that wasn't Embiid with a rest. I swear to God, I didn't even read this comment before I said that. But you also say Grant Williams ain't it. He's got a way to go. Dean saying our missed free throws catch up to you. It just, you know what it is? Even if you, say you don't you get the lead back, you pretty much make up for your missed free throws. However you want to look at it, it's such a vibe killer, dude. Like, you miss a foul shot, Marcus Smart goes to the line right after getting called for he draws a foul on a 3-point, and if I'm not mistaken, you missed 2 of them. That's such a vibe killer. Like, that's a great play turned into what's 1 point, So it's a big time turnaround. Skipping ahead just a little bit in the comments here. Maybe it's 10 games in and this is a meaningless game in January. Yeah, that's true, Dakota. Great comment. Dean says one time we doubled, posted left green wide open and left green wide open in the corner for 3. Yeah, I mean that's what I said. It's like they were hitting their open shots too, right? Dougie and Danny says, did you get the Tatum bobblehead yet? No, I did not. It's I think it's supposed to be here end of this week, early next week. It'll go right here. It's an awesome bobblehead. Limited. I got it coming. We got this one. I think, the longtime viewers probably recognize this bad boy, but it's a Larry Bird, high school bobblehead. Let's see. Dean saying Embiid missed free throws and we don't gather the rebound. Big play. Yeah, turning point. Too many green minutes tonight. I think that's because of Tatum. And don't like Brad's lineup in the mid-4th. I think it was tough with Kemba being on the minutes restriction. I think Kemba gets a hefty run in the 3rd and then also middle of the 4th without that minutes restriction. Gear saying thoughts on Pritchard. Actually, Dakota says something tells me you would sniff their jockstrap. This Dakota dude cannot not respond to one of my tweets, join my live stream without hating, without saying something stupid. Dakota, you're a fraud. Relax, pal. Gear says thoughts on Pritchard and Teague. I think that with Kemba coming back, all of a sudden we see sort of the role peeled back, the need for Pritchard, the need for Teague sort of lessening, and it's kind of tough because Pritchard, I feel like we've seen multiple times when he gets into the game and gets going and hits big shots, the guy's legit. But I think we saw a way lesser Pritchard and Teague. I'm starting to get less and less confident on Teague. But Pritchard, I think we talked about it multiple times. What's going to happen to Pritchard when when Kemba comes back? His minutes are kind of dwindling. I still think he has valuable minutes when he's out there, but you know, Peyton Pritchard is the guy that usually, you know, before Kemba, it was like, oh, rah, Pritchard came in, changed the course of the game. Pritchard's had a couple times now where he comes in and really doesn't do too much. So that's only a couple games now that Kemba's got back. I think Brad has to figure it out and, you know, play the system and figure out what's going on, but sheesh, I don't know. Fighter saying ref sucking Embiid's thingy. Yeah, it's always going to happen though, guys. That's what I've said since the start of the stream, right? I've said it since the start of the stream. We can bitch and moan all we want as Celtics fans about how the refs just gave Embiid fouls, but it's going to happen every single time we play. Dean says, wish JB could have gotten hot down the stretch, went cold, and a bad turnover. He was hot for a while, and I think he just kind of cooled off to your point, and then it's also like, well, then you start taking these pull-ups and threes as if you are still hot, and that's an issue. Gear says, Tice makes Kemba so much better. He loves playing with him. I think Kemba makes a lot of guys around him better, and I think we're starting to see that. He had some nice passes. He's getting into the lane, making the right move. I think Kemba's going to be a little bit more of a facilitator this year as he gets healthy than people think. Dean says, loss follows that shit show on Sunday. Now the Sixers again on Friday. Yeah, I'm excited for this game Friday, especially if Tatum plays. I think they have a way better chance. I think we actually have a full team, a team that, you know, isn't depleted or anything like that. So I'm not going to say like, oh, the Celtics are definitely going to win or anything, but I do think, you know, this is sort of like what I saw tonight with a Tatum. I think the Celtics beat them in any sort of a series, right? And you playing them again Friday, possibly getting Tatum, kind of alludes to, oh, it's a game 2 of the series, and I could see a Celtics win. I think that the Sixers kind of work right through Embiid. If Embiid has 10 less points, I know that's not how it works, guys, but if Embiid has 10 less points, the Celtics end up winning the game. You know what I mean? And again, that's not exactly how it works. It's not apples for apples or 1-to-1, whatever you want to call it. But Embiid just doesn't go off. He still has a really, really good game, 30-plus points. Tatum comes back. Like, I think we're looking at a Celtics win. We'll see, though. Greg says, do you think they should play Taco more? It seems like he's getting better and can be helpful later on. I do think they could play him more, but against Joel Embiid, I don't know. That I'm not buying into. I don't think you just throw him out there against Joel Embiid, to be completely honest. I think Taco's shown that he can play, but you throw Taco Fall against Joel Embiid, I think Taco Fall quickly goes into a shell and says, oh boy, maybe I'm a little bit scared. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think that's you talk about the saying, throw him to the wolves. You saying Taco Fall go cover Joel Embiid is kind of like, he'd be on the bench being like, Coach. Let's see. Dean says another cat that can't shoot. Wongi says, this is hella disrespectful and a hot take, but sometimes I look at Thompson and think it's just a tall Grant Williams. Are they even that difference in height? I think that is a hot take because I think Tristan Thompson's like quadruple the rebounder that Grant Williams is. And, as bad as he's been defensively for the Celtics so far, I think he's incredibly, incredibly better defender than Grant Williams, to be completely honest. I think Grant Williams, as much as people want to say, oh, he can be the guy that can cover 1 through 5, Grant Williams seems like it's either an easy bucket. If someone good is playing against him, it's either a bucket or he fouls them. So, I don't want to slight Tristan Thompson in the fact to call him just a bigger Grant Williams, but we've talked about it in the stream so far. He's not doing too much. Like Tristan Thompson could be doing a little bit more. What could he be doing? I don't know, because I don't see him scoring. I don't see him scoring more, but maybe looking a little bit better defensively, snagging a couple blocks here and there, maybe a steal, getting your hand in the passing lane. I don't know, more than 2 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 personal fouls. When you almost 3 times your points with personal fouls, I think no matter what other stats you padded, you're kind of in trouble. That's just me. Maybe I'm the crazy one, thinking that. Hey, I don't know. Get to a few more comments here. I don't think we're going to go too long, guys. These streams have been popping off for like an hour plus. I don't know if we'll be doing that tonight. Probably just a few more comments, but we'll see. Tweeting it out one more time. Let's see. Wongi says, I want to see a game with 5 players on 20+ points. So who is that 5? Obviously, you got Kemba, Tatum, and Brown. Then are you looking at maybe like, yeah, who is that? Then Marcus Smart, I would assume, would be one. But, you know, Daniel Tice did it tonight. But is he your guy that's going to go for 20? Or is it Teague, Pritchard? Is it a Taco? Who is the 5 going for 20? I'm curious as to who the 5th is, Wongi. Fighter says, I genuinely think we can get Oladipo and Tucker and easily be the best team in the league. I think we could get those guys. I just am curious as to what, one, we'd have to give up, and then 2, is Danny Ainge playing the long con here? Because I think a lot of us forget that our 2 best players are super young. They're like 3 to 4 years away from what are considered normal NBA primes. And that could be hindering any sort of blockbuster deal the Celtics could be looking to make, right? Like if Danny Ainge is saying, no, let's pump the brakes here. Let's pump the brakes here and let's wait for Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown to develop. Then you're not going to see any blockbuster trades. You're not going to see any trades like trying to get in on the Harden sweepstakes like they were supposedly, or the Oladipo, you know what I mean? But I don't know. I wouldn't mind a trade to happen. I just don't know about bringing another star like a Bradley Beal or Oladipo or anything. Mustafa saying, I feel like this game was good for us. We looked solid and versus a better Philly team. No Tatum. Yeah. No, like I'm not mad about that game. Would you have wanted a win? Yeah, we all would have. We all would have wanted the win, but I don't think that, you know, you look at that and say, this team stinks, or damn it, they played so bad. No, just honestly, like I said, you cross your T's and dot your I's, and that game could be yours. 100%. 100%. Guys, I still see a lot of you guys watching on Periscope right now. If you are watching on Periscope, make sure you transition over to YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. We have more than just these post games on the channel, so head over there right now. Like this video. If you're in the stream right now, do me a favor. I'm pleading. Click the link that I tweeted. It's the YouTube link. Go over there, subscribe to the channel, and like this stream. Periscope is going to be no more in just a couple months' time. So we're trying to transition everyone over, and especially everyone that's been tuning in for years, everyone over to the YouTube channel. So go check it out. We have podcasts on there. We have me doing some rant videos, and we're going to have a lot more content popping off on the YouTube channel pretty damn soon. The Guy Boston Sports channel, I tweeted out the link. Go subscribe. Usually Wongi's in here telling me to remind people to subscribe. Wongi, that's like the 3rd plug I've done. You're losing your need in the stream, brother. Mustafa saying we need to be better defensively, though. Like, I'm not going to argue we need to be better defensively, but we have the pieces in place. If things were to click, we'll go back to Grant Williams. That's supposedly, you know, in Brad Stevens' mind and a lot of Celtics fans' mind, that defensive tool that we have. I don't buy it yet, but, right, like, he's supposed to be a guy that can play some damn defense. Not happening. Semi Ojeleye has started the season hot as hell on defense, and he's making some damn shots. I haven't seen the incredible defense that we want out of him either. I think he actually covered Embiid a couple times tonight and played pretty good defense, so I'll give him that. But I don't think it's like... I think that we have the guys that should be playing defense. I just don't think they are playing defense. I know that that's kind of like a cop-out, but I do think, like the names are there. Like, it's essentially like if you say we need defense, so let's get P.J. Tucker... It's like getting P.J. Tucker, and then he comes and doesn't play defense. And it's like, oh, we got the name that should play defense. Now, obviously, the caveat there is that he's a seasoned vet, has experience, and you know what you're going to get from him. We're kind of talking Semi Ojeleye, Javonte Green, and Grant Williams here. So, you know, point proven, but still. Wongi says, I want to see Thompson catch more passes at least. Yeah, Kemba dropped off a couple to him in the Knicks game, and then also tonight. And I feel like he doesn't have the hands. And I remember opening night, I think it was Scal maybe? Scal was saying how, ooh, he's got good hands, Thompson. Scal's the same guy that said Brad Wanamaker was amazing because he had strong hands. So maybe he's got a hand obsession, but he was not right about Tristan Thompson because I see Tristan Thompson not ready. It's not so much the hands. It's not like he drops it, but wouldn't you agree? Wouldn't you agree that all of a sudden it's like balls hit Thompson's hands, just bounce off, or his hands aren't even ready. And a couple of these Kemba passes are like threading the needle, or a Marcus Smart pass threading the needle. He's just not ready for it. But to your point, Wong, yeah, I do think he catches those. We're looking at a couple more points too, because a lot of those are around the hoop. Mustafa saying you're not going to get 5 going for 20. I know. I was asking who that guy is theoretically. Theoretically. I don't think you're getting 5 going for 20. You could have 4 going for 20 tonight, which is crazy. You know, and then all of a sudden, poof, you have Tatum possibly go for 20. Then you're cooking. But I don't think it's happening. Gear says, if we're going to make a big trade, get Cat. Yeah, I love Karl Anthony Towns. If you're going to make a big trade, this is what I'll say. And this shouldn't be breaking news or jaw-dropping stuff to any of you guys. But if you're going to make a big trade, make a big trade. You know what I mean? Like, if you consider making a big trade and getting PJ Tucker a big trade, I don't think so. If you're going to make a big trade, make a big trade. And Karl Anthony Towns, I think, would definitely consider as a big trade. Dean says, Tucker, tough as nails, spreads the floor on offense. Brad loves that small ball. I think he would be good here. It's a matter of what did we have to give up, and was that the best option? So who do we talk about? I think it was Drummond, right? In these past streams, I said, okay, I'm not opposed to getting Drummond. Like, I don't hate Andre Drummond. I think he's a really good player. I think he could help this team. But if you put all your chips into seeking out, trying to trade for Drummond, and this was just a hypothetical, and you could have traded for a guy of like a Bradley Beal or a Karl Anthony Towns just by giving a little bit more, but you were so focused on Drummond, did you miss the opportunity? And that's obviously like, it's like, oh, that's a weird scenario. Like, that's a weird scenario that you just painted, Ev. Totally fair. But I just need to know that, like, if Drummond's the guy we're getting, we're not just going all in on Drummond. You know what I mean? You got to test the waters. You got to shop around if you're going to make a trade. But if you're going to make a big trade, make a big trade. I don't think they need a big trade, I'll say that. Like, I think that this could be a very good learning year, and I think that at the same time, as you learn, you're going to be a contender. But that's neither here nor there. I think, if Danny Ainge feels he needs to make a huge trade, go for it. Wangi says, did Embiid have no defensive rebounds? I think he had no offensive rebounds, if I'm reading the box score correctly. Mustafa switching over to YouTube. How about that? We got a couple guys. I see Adnan in the YouTube chat. I see Mustafa in the YouTube chat. That's it, guys. Guys, if you want to join these streams, in the future and whatnot and talk, we're going to be, I got to figure this out. I think we're going to use Discord to do it, but we're going to get some of you guys to be able to call into the streams, which would be awesome. I don't know where I was going with this. I was pretty much saying thank you for switching over to YouTube, but, I feel like I had 2 different things I wanted to say there, and they just did not at all relate to each other. But anyways, back to the comments. Mustafa saying, we played a solid game. I don't think we should overreact. Kemba is getting back into the mix of things. No Tatum, and we really need to pick it up defensively, though. See, you keep, that's like the 3rd time you said that, though. Kemba's getting back, no Tatum, blah, 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 blah. But we need to get better defensively. It's like, it is true, you know what I mean? But it is like the one call to concern, like, it wasn't all sunshine and roses. It was still a loss, and you could attribute that to a couple easy possessions for the Sixers. And there was when was this? Just a defensive rebound late in the game. No one jumped for it. I think Shake Milton got the offensive rebound. Would have been a defensive for the Celtics. Adnan saying Kemba and Thompson haven't built that chemistry yet. Yeah, I can't picture Thompson catching these passes like previous years, but that's not saying he can't. Like, I can't picture it. So if he does have the hands, if he does have the awareness to catch these passes, and it just is a matter of, him and Kemba getting on the same page, then I think that could be huge, because I'm telling you, that results in 6 more points for Thompson a game. That could be big. I know they're different positions, but Brad is going to invest in Grant Williams. I hope he invests in Robert Williams as well. I think so too. I would argue they might not even be different positions the way that the Celtics have been running their lineups. You know what I mean? To your point, like, I think Robert Williams is the piece you invest in now, and Grant Williams you just kind of keep and be like, all right, pal, we'll let you off the leash if, like, we need you, but keep the bench warm. I don't know. You guys know where I stand with Grant Williams. All right, you know where I stand with Grant Williams. I can't say that he's proven anything to me yet. He's proven that he belongs in the NBA. I've given him that, but to come say that Grant Williams is like a staple and a building block of this team, I'm going to have to disagree with you for now. Mustafa saying, I think that killed us this game. Obviously, Embiid. I think what killed us this game is obviously Embiid is We've hit the wall where I can't read comments. I think what killed us this game, obviously, is Embiid, but I think Kemba's minutes early fourth, I feel like he was forcing a little bit after having a hot in the first half. What killed us, like, honestly, if you want to pick one thing that I had a problem with, not a problem, that's not the right word, one thing that I could tell drew a direct line of correlation to them not winning this game was that Kemba Walker was hot. He didn't play the entire third, or except for 1 minute, and then, you know, had to sit out the chunk of the fourth. But that's because of the minutes restriction. So we can't necessarily be mad about that, but it's almost like a good thing. It's like, oh, well, even without Tatum, if Kemba was able to just play a full workload, we might have taken that game because Kemba was hot. He was feeling hot, hot, hot. Wong says, if the Sixers had gotten Harden, it'd be a three. I mean, did I call it that? I can't read chat right now. If the Sixers had gotten Harden, they'd be a free throw fest. That is like a tongue twister. That's like saying, ready for this? Irish, I can't do it. Irish wristwatch. Irish wristwatch. Say that. Zero chance you guys can say it. Took me 2 tries maybe. Irish wristwatch. Now I'm nailing it. No chance you guys say that. I love to think just a handful of you guys just started saying that to yourself and stumbling in front of your computer or your phone or whatever. Add-on saying, if Jalen and Kemba, some of those fourth quarter shots, if Jalen and Kemba had some of those fourth quarter shots, I think we win. I'm okay with this loss, but 8-5 record is not ideal right now. Still long on this team. So yeah, I still believe in the long haul. Like, I think this is a really good team, but how about this? 8-3 compared to 8-5. Yikes. Like, for some reason, those 2 losses just, it doesn't look nearly as good as it did just like a week ago. It's kind of tough. Let's see. Mustafa saying, my fault. I didn't know if my comment was going through via Periscope. Now you're in the YouTube realm now, guys. And I love it. I think that's where the stream's headed towards YouTube. So shout out to you guys for making the transition over. If you are in Periscope still, or not subscribed to the YouTube, or if you haven't liked this stream, then we got a problem. But no, if you're in the YouTube scene, that's what I love to see. Fighter saying, are you regretting the C's decision to trade Thibault and Desmond Bane and missing out on Sadiq Bey? All 3 of those could have been major improvements. I do think Thibault could have been good for this team. I do. I know he didn't do too much tonight, but I think he could have. That draft, I think it's fair to say they botched that draft, right? Like, Grant Williams is the only bright spot of that draft so far, and he ain't that bright. So I think that they botched that draft. I think that it could turn it around. I think it could definitely turn it around, right? But I don't know. Like, I think that might have been one of Danny Ainge's worst drafts, because some of the names that have come out of that draft, some of the guys they had the opportunity to get, might have been better than Langford. Might have been better than than Grant Williams. Might have been better than Carson Edwards and Tremont Waters. So I don't regret the decision. I just think, because I don't know if some of those names like Bane and Sadiq Bey, it could just be the system they're in as to why they're playing well. You know, rookies and early year players go to bad teams and they seem to play really, really well because no one cares, right? It's tough to come into Boston and do well. So I'm gonna say that, but I would say I don't regret the decision because I trust Danny, I guess. But at the same time, I think they could have done a little bit better in that draft. AC saying the Celtics straight winning Friday. Sorry you're late. It's all right. Hey, as long as you tune into the stream, it's all right. You know, I trust you'll be tuning in, AC. Wongy says, do you think JT, JB, and Kemba will all be able to go off when on the floor together? Yes. Yep. I do, because I think, you know, there's enough shots to go around. For example, Marcus Smart took 19 shots tonight, and Daniel Tice took 11 shots tonight. That's 30 shots that Tatum could have taken 60% of, you know? I think there is enough to go around, and I think it's a common misconception amongst fans and analysts, whatever you want to say. I think it's a common misconception that, oh, I mean, you know, you can't have those 3 guys on the floor at once. It's like, well, as far as I'm concerned, the more talent on the floor, the better. Now, you do say go off. Maybe that's where you get me sort of like, I don't know about going off. Like, are these guys all popping off for 30 together? No, they're probably going to have runs where Jaylen Brown's the only one in there and he gets like 10 points and so on and so forth. But in terms of these guys all being on the same team together, I wouldn't worry about it. I think the shots are going to be there. I think they all score so differently. so differently. It's kind of crazy when you think about it, but I do think in the entirety of the game we're not gonna have an issue, but I don't know. I feel like the more talent, the better. But going off, like, I guess, I'm kind of tucking my tail and retracting a little bit. Going off, just using your words, it does get kind of tough, but at the same time, I'm not concerned about it. AC saying you need more free throws. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to have a team like the Sixers go to the line like that, you're going to need to try and at least compete with it, and then you don't want to miss your foul shots when you get the opportunity. Wong, you're saying, arguably, though, JB was at his best when Kemba was on the bench. Right. But I think that, this is also a game where Kemba was kind of making a statement, right? So Jaylen Brown, and they did pop off for a little bit together, so let's not cut them short. But at the same time, it's like we're not in the full swing of things. Kemba's still trying to be like, I'm doing it, right? And Kemba was popping off more than I think he normally would. Like, he got a quick 17. You know what I mean? A quick 17. That's like above popping off. If you're going to tell me these guys are each going to go for 17 to 20 in the first half, like, no, that's going off. I'm talking, can they all go off for, Tatum scores, then Brown scores, then Kemba scores, then back to Kemba, he scores, Brown scores, Tatum scores? Yeah, but maybe basketball's not built like that. Maybe you do have more of a run where Jalen's hot, give him the ball, and that means that Kemba's not going to go off all on the floor with him. But I don't think it's I think it's a bad problem to have, right? AC, you're saying, curious not having Semi on the floor down the stretch with Embiid having a big game. I felt like they were too small in crunch time. I think that I honestly, and this is me being the non-coach here, I think Brad Stevens kind of said F it with Embiid. I think he was like, whatever, if he's going to beat us, he's going to beat us. Let's try and make buckets on the other end, because they doubled him a couple times. It worked a couple times. It didn't work a couple times. But late in the game, like, they just went to Embiid in the post and let the big man down there just kind of like deal with it. And we saw how that turned out, right? So I do think that their game plan was, all right, let Embiid have his, we'll make other people beat us. But to Brad Stevens' surprise, Embiid was either making a shot or getting fouled. Like, I remember one play that he didn't get a foul call on down the stretch, right? So it probably wasn't the best game plan, and that's just me assuming that was the case. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that actually was the case, but it sure as hell looked like he was just like, all right, one-on-one down low. And if you're telling me Brad Stevens is okay with going one-on-one down low, then I think that's pretty much saying F it, Embiid's going to go off. Because you can't just say, I'm going to cover Joel Embiid with Daniel Tice. If so, Brad Stevens got a screw loose. A few more comments here, guys. Thank you to everyone that's tuning in and made their way over to YouTube. I love it. I said this is probably only going to be a half-hour stream. Here we are 50 minutes later. Wongy says, interested to see if Green can improve his defense. The guy, he has some damn potential. I know we talked about it earlier that, like, he wasn't playing that well and stuff, but he's got some potential. He's a spark plug, and he doesn't do too much. Talk about a guy, like we talk about Marcus Smart, like he does too much sometimes. Even Semi Ojeleye, I think, does too much sometimes. Semi Ojeleye was building a freaking brick clubhouse out in Madison Square Garden, or in the Garden, against the Knicks, right? Like, he was terrible. He was bricking threes left and right. That was me saying, Semi Ojeleye, you're doing too much, pal. Javonte Green hasn't crossed that yet. Javonte Green has the steal, the nice dunk, but I think that he's got sort of the Robert Williams effect where he's still kind of hesitant of, am I supposed to be there? Am I supposed to be there? Oh, boy, I don't know. And I'm just going to try and rely on my athleticism to get me through it, and it doesn't always work out. But, all right, guys. Anyways, that is going to do it for tonight's stream. Shout out to everyone that tuned in. If you made it this far and you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, I find that hard to believe. But do make sure you subscribe to the channel, comment on this stream, and like the video as well. You know, we're building the stream on YouTube. I love it. YouTube's pretty fun. It's giving me that sort of like, like we're building something again. You know, we've built up in the years of doing this now. We've built up sort of the community doing these post-game streams and whatnot. But now we got like this new mission to embark on, which I love it. So shout out to you guys. Shout out to you guys that have helped me out or DM me about like ideas for the stream or how to do it well. and different things like that. Like I know Gear's been involved with trying to figure out how we do this Discord to get you guys to call in and hear your voice heard and get talking to me on the streams as well. So big things to come for the stream. And you know, I'm pretty juiced to see where these things go, because you know it's every single Celtics game, every game. You know, I missed one this year, which I'm bummed about. It was New Year's Day, but we're grinding here, and I love the constant support from you guys, especially the real ones. So shout out to everyone that tuned into the stream. Enough of the mushy stuff. Go Celts. We'll see you back here Friday. Hopefully, we're talking about a Celtics win, but I'll catch you guys in the next stream. The Celtics team is legit. We're bringing that word back. Legit. This team's legit. Catch you guys in the next stream.